Good evening, visitors. Welcome to the Australian War Memorial's last post ceremony. My name is Linda Anderson, and joining us today from the Australian Army is Sergeant Renee Boss. We welcome the veterans who have served, those that are still serving, and the families that love and support them. The live stream of this ceremony is made possible by the Returned and Services League of Australia and the RSL and Services Clubs Association. We welcome members who are watching the broadcast of this ceremony across Australia. During this evening's ceremony, wreaths will be laid at the base of the pool of reflection by visitors to the memorial. If you are able, please stand and join us in singing the national anthem. Visitors who are able to do so, please be seated. The Australian War Memorial was the vision of Charles Bean, Australia's First World War official historian. Bean landed with the Australian troops on Gallipoli and stayed with them at the front through to the end of the war. The idea of this national memorial and museum came to him at Pozières, France, in the depths of the bloody fighting of 1916. Bean's idea was that this would be a place where families and friends could mourn loved ones buried in faraway places. It would also be a place that could help all Australians understand what these men and women had endured and what they had done for us. Bean's vision, to which we remain true, is best expressed as inscribed in the entrance to the memorial's galleries. Here is their spirit in the heart of the land they loved, and here we guard the record which they themselves made. Tonight we will read the story behind just one of those on the Roll of Honour, which lists the names of more than 103,000 men and women who have given their lives for us in war and on operations for more than a century. But first, we present a lament, Flowers of the Forest. Wreaths or floral tributes will now be laid at the base of the pool of reflection.
Today, we remember and pay tribute to Private Arthur Cockburn. Arthur Cockburn was born in 1892 in West Thurston, Northumberland, England, the third of 8 children born to William and Martha Ann Cockburn. The family lived on Waterside Farm, where William worked as a farm bailiff. Young Arthur attended Felton Parochial School in West Thurston before going to work on Waterside Farm. In 1911, at the age of 19, he immigrated to Australia and went to work as a labourer in Thadungra near Young in New South Wales. After the outbreak of the First World War, Cockburn enlisted for service in the Australian Imperial Force at Goulburn on the 20th of June 1916. After initial training, he was allotted to reinforcements to the 56th Battalion. On the 7th of October, Cockburn embarked for Sydney aboard the transport ship Ceramic, bound for England. On arrival at Plymouth in late November, he was sent to the 14th Training Battalion at Herdcott. He remained there for 6 months training, and during his periods of leave, he would have been able to see his family. He sailed for France on the 14th of June after nearly 2 weeks at Etaples. He was part of the draft of 3 officers and 25 men that joined the 56th Battalion at Worley in July. The next 2.5 months were spent conducting route marches and battle training. On the 16th of September, he was detached to the 1st Australian Tunnelling Company, but was back with his unit a week later. By this time, the 56th Battalion was in positions at Chateau Wood, preparing for the attack on Polygon Wood. The 56th Battalion moved to its starting line during the night of the 25th of September and began its attack, supported by a tremendous barrage. The men advanced in waves behind the barrage, and the German positions were soon overrun. Germans who surrendered quickly were spared, otherwise no quarter was given, particularly to their machine gunners. The battalion dug in on their objective line, near a prominent mound called the Butt, which had been a German strong point and headquarters. The rest of the day was spent consolidating before the Germans counter-attacked that evening. This attack was broken up by artillery, which dropped short, killing a number of Australians. Casualties suffered by the 56th Battalion were heavy, with 255 men killed, wounded and missing. Among the dead was Private Arthur Cockburn. There is no record as to how he met his fate. His remains were either not found or unidentifiable after the battle. He was 25 years old. Today, his name is commemorated on the Ypres Meningate Memorial in Belgium and on the Felton War Memorial near his family home. His name is listed on the Roll of Honour on my right, amongst almost 62,000 Australians who died while serving in the First World War. A photograph of his name listed on the Meningate Memorial is displayed today beside the Pool of Reflection. This is but one of the many stories of service and sacrifice told here at the Australian War Memorial. We now remember Private Arthur Cockburn, who gave his life for us, for our freedoms, and in the hope of a better world.
Please stand for the reading of the Ode and the sounding of the last post.
They shall grow not old, as we that are left grow old. Age shall not weary them, nor the years condemn. At the going down of the sun, and in the morning, we will remember them. lest we forget.
We leave you this evening with the words of the memorial's founder, Charles Bean. Many a man lying out there at Pozières or in the low scrub at Gallipoli with his poor, tired senses barely working through the fever of his brain has thought in his last moments, well, it's over. But in Australia, they will be proud of this. Ladies and gentlemen, girls and boys, that concludes the last post ceremony. On behalf of the director, staff and volunteers, thank you for visiting the Australian War Memorial today. We wish you all a very pleasant evening.